At dusk, the coast was wrapped in a soft blue light, and a gentle breeze carried the salty scent of the ocean. Somewhere on the cliff, a quiet storyteller was sitting, listening to the slow breathing of the waves. Every wave felt like a word, every breath like a whisper. The world seemed to slow down, as if time itself were lying on a soft pillow. The storyteller closed their eyes for a moment, listened to the calm rhythm of the sea, and then opened them again. "Tonight," they began softly, "I will tell you about a lighthouse that does more than shine in the dark. This lighthouse can listen to the dreams of anyone who looks at its light." The waves answered with a quiet murmur, like a distant, gentle applause. There was a young woman named Leah, curious, kind, and often a little tired from the noise of the city. Every evening, Leah walked to the lighthouse to sit in its calm circle of light. She did not go there for drama or excitement, but to hear what the city never said out loud. She imagined the hidden sounds of life, the deep breathing of old houses, the soft footsteps of people walking home late, the unspoken thoughts of those who stood by the shore, looking for a little peace. One night, when the moon was a thin silver slice in the sky, Leah sat down in front of the lighthouse, folded her hands in her lap, and whispered, "Dear lighthouse, I have one simple question. What am I really missing?" The lighthouse did not answer with words. Its warm light grew a little softer, a little deeper, and then, very slowly, it showed Leah a vision. Leah saw a small old library with high shelves and the smell of old paper and dust. She remembered the book she had started and never finished. The picture faded, and another appeared. A small terrace with a few wild plants growing in cracked pots, waiting quietly for a little water and a moment of attention. Then, a courtyard filled with children's footsteps, their laughter ringing like tiny bells in the air, while Leah watched from a window, too busy to join them. Each place carried a gentle message, a conversation not finished, a call not returned, a smile she had forgotten to give. Leah understood, slowly, that happiness was not a distant goal. It was made of many small gestures, like tiny lights in the dark, stopping to listen, offering a kind word, lighting a candle when everything feels heavy. The lighthouse guided Leah with patience towards what she was missing most: presence. Not the frantic presence of doing many things, but the quiet presence of being fully there in one simple moment. So Leah began to create small, peaceful rituals. Each evening, she lit a softly scented candle and watched the flame move very slowly. She drank a glass of water, one sip at a time, as if each sip were a small blessing. She took short walks, paying attention to her breathing, in and out, in and out, letting her thoughts drift away like clouds. With every gentle habit, her mind grew a little calmer and her heart a little lighter. One quiet night, while the sea was singing its ancient song, Leah realized something. The true light did not only come from the lighthouse, it also came from the way she chose to see the world. When the heart is open and the gaze is soft, even a cold night can feel warm. Leah started to share her calm with others. She made a warm cup of tea for a neighbor who often felt alone. She left a gentle message for a friend who was going through a hard time. She sat in silence with someone who was sad, offering no advice, only presence and a quiet, steady breath. Each small action was like a wave, traveling slowly to the shore, bringing peace to anyone it touched. When the first light of dawn painted the sky in soft pink, Leah returned to the cliff and looked up at the lighthouse. Its light no longer felt distant. It felt connected to her own heart. She had learned that calm does not mean that nothing is happening. Calm means being gently present in the middle of everything that happens. The lighthouse seemed to understand. Its beam softened, and for a moment, Leah heard a deep, slow breath, as if the sea itself were relaxing. The story ends for tonight, but it continues every evening when Leah lights her first candle and remembers that any moment, even this one, can be a small island of peace. If you ever feel tired, you may close your eyes. Imagine the lighthouse on the cliff, the slow waves below, and your own breath, moving gently in and out. In this calm place, you are safe, you are welcome, and you have all the time you need to listen, to breathe, and simply to be. Some weeks had passed since Leah first learned to be gently present with herself and with the sea. The lighthouse still watched over the coast, its light turning slowly in the dark, like a calm heartbeat in the night. One evening, Leah walked not to the cliff, but through the small village behind it. The streets were almost empty, washed in soft orange light from the lamps. As she walked, she noticed how tired people looked, their shoulders a little heavy, their eyes a little distant. She stopped for a moment and placed a hand on her own chest. Her breath moved in and out, slow and quiet. Maybe, she whispered to herself, the peace I feel at the lighthouse can slowly spread through this village too. The next day, Leah visited the old library from her vision. The door creaked softly as she opened it, and the smell of paper and dust welcomed her, like an old friend. There was an elderly librarian, sitting behind a wooden desk. His hands were folded, and he looked as if the years had made him both gentle and a little lonely. "Hello," Leah said softly. "I used to come here long ago, but I forgot how peaceful this place is." The librarian smiled, a slow, small, warm smile. "Books remember," he said quietly. "They wait, just like the sea." Leah walked between the tall shelves, moving her fingers lightly along the spines of the books. She chose one, then another, not for their stories, but for the feeling of calm they carried. She sat down at a small table, closed her eyes, and took 3 deep, slow breaths. In that moment, the library felt like a second lighthouse, filling the village with a silent, steady light. That evening, Leah returned to the cliff and looked up at the lighthouse beam. "Today," she whispered, "I brought your calm into the village. Tomorrow, maybe a little more." The lighthouse answered with a quiet glow, and the sea below exhaled a long, deep, relaxing breath. The following days, Leah chose one small place at a time to bring a little more peace. One afternoon, she visited the tiny terrace from her vision, where wild plants grew in cracked pots. She brought a small watering can and a few new seeds. With slow movements, she cleared the dry leaves, poured water gently into the soil, and whispered, "Grow slowly, no hurry, just like my breath." The leaves moved a little in the breeze, as if they were listening. On another day, Leah went to the courtyard, where the laughter of children once rang like bells. Now it was quieter, the sounds softer, the games shorter. She sat on a low stone step and began a simple game of breathing with the children. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. The children giggled at first, but then followed her rhythm. Their shoulders dropped, their faces softened, and the courtyard filled with a new kind of laughter, light and relaxed. That night, standing again beneath the lighthouse, Leah felt something gentle awaken in the air. The village seemed a little slower, a little softer, as if many hearts were breathing together with the sea. The lighthouse turned its beam over houses, over streets, over the quiet library, and the small courtyard of children. Its light felt less like a warning and more like a blanket, tucked carefully around the whole village. Leah closed her eyes, placed a hand over her heart, and listened. In the distance, waves moved in and out, like a calm, endless breath. Inside her chest, her own breath answered, slow, steady, peaceful, in that shared rhythm between her heart, the village, and the sea. Leah understood that the lighthouse had never been alone. Every quiet soul, every gentle gesture, was another small light, shining softly in the dark. And so, night after night, the story continued, not in loud events, but in simple moments of presence, like this one, right now, as you listen and breathe, very slowly, in and out. Many gentle days passed, and Leah kept sharing small moments of peace. One morning, the village baker woke earlier than usual. He had heard Leah's soft words at the library about breathing like the sea. As he kneaded dough, he tried it. In, slow, out, slow. His hands moved with less rush. The bread rose higher, and his customers noticed the calm smile on his face. "Try this," he said quietly, handing a warm loaf to a hurried mother. "Breathe with it, one bite at a time." By noon, the small terrace bloomed unexpectedly. Neighbors saw Leah's plants thriving and brought their own pots. They sat together, watering slowly, sharing stories of forgotten gardens. No loud laughter, just soft voices, mingled with the sound of water on soil. The courtyard children now taught their game to parents. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Even the librarian left his desk more often, reading passages aloud, in a voice as steady as the lighthouse beam. That evening, Leah stood on the cliff again. The village below glowed differently, not brighter, but warmer, like embers in a hearth. She whispered to the lighthouse, "They are learning your quiet language." The beam swept across rooftops, pausing longer on each house, as if acknowledging new friends. One night, dark clouds gathered far offshore. The wind whispered warnings, but not with anger, just with steady breath. Villagers gathered their lanterns, not in fear, but in quiet preparation. Leah walked house to house, offering candles and calm words. "Breathe with the rain, it cleanses as it falls." When the first drops came, soft at first, then steady, no one rushed. The baker closed his windows slowly. The children watched raindrops race down glass, counting breaths between each one. In the library, The old man read by candlelight, stories of ships finding home in storms. At the terrace, plants drank deeply, their leaves shining silver in the flashes. Leah sat beneath her favorite tree, rain falling gently on her hood, breathing with the rhythm of the drops. In with the wind, out with the rain. The lighthouse stood unmoved, its beam cutting through mist, not fighting the storm, but guiding softly through it. When dawn broke, clouds parted slowly, revealing a village washed clean. Windows opened to fresh air. Neighbors shared hot tea, their voices even softer, more grateful. The storm had not broken them. It had taught them to bend gently, like reeds by the sea. Word of the village's calm spread slowly, like ripples from a dropped pebble. Travelers came, not for spectacle, but for silence. Leah welcomed them, not with speeches, but with invitations. Walk with me to the cliff, listen to the sea, feel your own breath. One evening, they formed a circle around the lighthouse base. No words at first, just breathing together, in, out, like waves rising and falling. The baker brought bread. The children sang soft counting songs. The librarian read from an ancient book about lighthouses that held the world's dreams. As stars appeared, each person lit a small candle, placing it in the sand. Their flames danced gently, mirroring the lighthouse above. Leah spoke last, her voice barely above a whisper. This light is in all of us. When we breathe together, we become the lighthouse. The group sat in silence, watching candles flicker, listening to waves, until sleep came naturally, deep and dreamless. Seasons turned slowly, but the village never hurried. Winter brought quiet snow that fell like soft thoughts. Spring painted terrace flowers in gentle pastels. Summer warmed the courtyard for endless breathing games. Autumn colored the cliff path, golden and slow. Leah grew older, but her steps stayed light. Her breath stayed deep. One clear night, she climbed the lighthouse stairs for the first time. The keeper welcomed her, an old friend from the library days. At the top, the great lens turned smoothly, sweeping light across the village, the sea, the endless horizon. See how they breathe with you now, the keeper said softly. Leah looked down and saw it. Windows glowing warm, shadows moving slowly, all rising, all falling, with the same gentle rhythm. She placed her hand on the cool glass, closed her eyes, and breathed with them all. The story never truly ends, because every night, somewhere, a candle is lit, a breath is taken, a moment is held gently. If you listen now, you might hear it too, the sea breathing far away, the village lights winking softly, your own heart beating, slow, steady, in perfect time. Close your eyes, imagine the cliff, the turning beam, the endless, gentle waves. Breathe in this peace. Breathe out all hurry. You are home. You are the light. You are enough.